Hello! If you're in the SME manufacturing sector of the Midlands, you're interested in AI and you're nervous about whether you want to put your data into it or what it would look like, you might like this video and hopefully it's of use. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a dummy data set that I use when I do my work in margin and other areas, and I'm going to put it into Claude to show you the sort of results it gets. I'm going to ask 2 questions and I'm hopefully going to do it in under 3 minutes. All right, here we go. Question number 1 that I'm going to ask is, I'm the MD of this business. I want a full analysis of how the last 12 months has been, as well as how I grow in the future to increase my margin by 5%, my sales by 10%. I want to report to be an HBL style so I can show it in our next meeting. That's the first question. Number 2 is going to be, tell me about buy and go wholesale, which is one of the dummy clients that I've put in, and what I could do to grow the contract. Analyze the data at a direct inputs margin level and a sales and dispatch margin level. Right, so those are the 2 questions. Okay, so I'm in Claude. You can see here, this is the company, this is the dummy data set, Churchdale's. It's a full-on margin data set that's got everything layered in there. So everything you'd get from your accounts package, ERPs, everything in there. So it's a full dummy set. And as always, the one thing is clean data in, clean data out. So you've got to make sure it's really good. But I've put that in. Now you can see the question, which we were just putting in there to ask. And I'm going to hit go and let's see what it does. Okay, let's see what happens results. So first it's generated this report for you, which you could use. It breaks down the entire company at a higher level, but also because of the way this data is structured, it's highlighted your different ways of producing and the different ways of margin. So margin when you're making it in the company or when you're buying some of the stuff in. You've got the sales by each different sector, which one's growing, which one's not. And don't forget, this has all been done off the one prompt. It then tells you which markets are growing, which markets have what margin they are, where that margin is, and everything else. Then it breaks down the company by the Pareto principle, which is fantastic, showing you which customers actually bring in the most margin. And then it breaks down the type of sectors they're in and the exact sales strategy to keep them growing. Going further on, it tells you who are your customers are the ones that you need to focus on for this growth strategy of 10% increase in sales. It brings out the risk, which is this buy and go wholesale. That's going to be the next question. And then it breaks down the revenue of discounting, analysis of all of your sales team. It goes on to mapping and showing you, because we've put in there's some data which says this is the size of the market. It does a size scoping to tell you where to grow the business, how to grow it, which sectors have more margin than others. So you'll see here that it says food production's got the best margin for growth. Let's get more into that sector, how to reach it further. And then this is an analysis of where to grow the business. And it's 6 recommendations for what to do straight away. Now, this isn't always going to be 100% accurate as always. It needs double checking, but it brings so much conversation. And this is why I think it's, hopefully, if you're curious or nervous about putting your data in or what to do with it, this is the sort of thing it will do. Now, let's put in the second question. Okay, so we're back in Claude, and you can see here that it's the question we asked about buy and go wholesale. Done in a full analysis and done it as a report. You can see it's talking about the 2 different levels of margin, and then it's come up with different things that it thinks should be brought up in a buyer meeting to increase sales by 100,000. So let's see what it's done. Firstly, it tells you all the, let's go to the very top of this. Tells you all the top line data on the company, who's growing, what's going, what number of lines have increased over the years, consistency of ordering. It shows you how volume has increased, and then it's showing you which products have increased in sales, what's their year-on-year growth, what's new, what's not, what's going down. It looks a little bit further and it talks about the actual margin on the client and how that margin is being bleeded out because of different ways of ordering. I think in this case, it's a case of increasing basket spend, which I think a lot of us would identify with. Then it's what products they're not buying. So these are untapped, but they're usually big sellers in this market. So it said companies like you usually buy this and what it could do for them. So once again, you're helping as a salesperson. How many of the orders are just one line? So what can we do about that? And then it gives an actual 5-play to grow the strategy going forward that you can give to the sales team. And once again, that's all been done off one prompt. So imagine if actually you put in an hour of chatting with it, it would come back even more. Well, I've gone to 4 minutes, so I'm sorry for that, but hopefully it gives you an idea of the sort of thing that it can do. If you're curious about what will it look like, but I just want to put my data in, I did this just hopefully to give you that thing of, okay, that's what I can get from it. Maybe it is worth exploring more. Yeah, but otherwise, have an amazing day. Thanks a lot. Bye.